Every January, we celebrate the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. This holiday is typically celebrated on the third Monday of January each year, which is meant to be celebrated on his actual birthday, which is on January 15. Martin Luther King Jr. is a very important figure in American history because he fought for civil rights and desegregation. Civil rights are rights that belong to all humans just because they're human, like free speech, privacy, and religion. Desegregation is the process of ending a practice or law that separates people of different races. Dr. King strongly believed that all Americans should be treated fairly regardless of skin color. Back in the day, Black Americans had to use separate restrooms, restaurants, water fountains, and even sit on the back of the bus. Dr. King thought this was wrong. During the 1950s, Dr. King became a leader in the civil rights movement to encourage equal rights for Black Americans who had never been treated equally since the abolition of slavery. He achieved success by using nonviolent methods, such as civil disobedience and peaceful protest after being inspired by Gandhi's nonviolent activism. Dr. King also led the Montgomery bus boycott, which resulted in the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. Additionally, his famous "I Have a Dream" speech took place in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. He spoke of his hopes and dreams for the brotherhood of man.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
In 1964, Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize for his work on overcoming unfairness and discrimination through nonviolent resistance. He was even chosen as Man of the Year by Time magazine. Despite his accomplishments, Dr. King still experienced resistance and threats from opponents during his years of resistance. Unfortunately, in 1968, he was assassinated in a motel in Memphis, Tennessee. It took 15 years after his death to become official, but in 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill to create Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and the first year was observed in 1986. People are encouraged to use this time as a day of service to their local communities or doing voluntary work in the spirit of Dr. King. There are actually many MLK tributes that you can visit on this day, including parades and museums that honor him. If you're a teacher, check out our related video on how you can celebrate MLK in your classroom. If you learned something new about the dynamic leader in the civil rights movement, also known as Martin Luther King Jr., please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more engaging resources on Black History Month.